20 bands from the 1970s that deserve more appreciation. The 1970s, a decade of musical innovation where genres collided and legends were born. But some incredible bands got lost in the shuffle, their brilliance overshadowed by the mainstream spotlight. Get ready to rediscover the unsung heroes of the 70s, the bands that shaped the sound of a generation but never quite got the recognition they deserved. Number 1. April Wine. Let's talk about a band that deserves a place among Canadian rock royalty, April Wine. These guys weren't just a flash in the pan. They built a solid foundation in the 1970s that launched them to mainstream success. Initially, the band was guided by the Henman brothers, but it was the arrival of the multi-talented Miles Goodwin, a powerhouse guitarist, keyboardist, and vocalist, that really ignited their sound. Their breakthrough came in 1972 with the album On Record, which put them on the map in North America. They kept building momentum throughout the decade, culminating in major success with First Glance in 1978 and Harder, Faster in 1979. While their 1981 hit Just Between You and Me from the Nature of the Beast album might be their most recognizable song, the groundwork for that success was laid during those formative years in the 70s. They honed their skills, developed their signature blend of hard rock with melodic hooks, and built a loyal fan base through relentless touring and constant creative evolution. April Wine wasn't afraid to experiment. Their music incorporated elements of blues, progressive rock, and even pop, giving them a versatility that appealed to a broad audience. Their live shows were legendary, known for their energy and Goodwin's powerful stage presence. Number 2. Blue Oyster Cult. While Blue Oyster Cult might be best known for Don't Fear the Reaper and its iconic portrayal in a classic Saturday Night Live sketch, there's so much more to this band than cowbell-fueled fame. They were masters of hard rock storytelling, weaving intricate narratives and fantastical imagery into their music. Blue Oyster Cult wasn't just a one-hit wonder. They had a knack for crafting memorable rock anthems. Songs like Burnin' For You and Godzilla showcased their ability to blend hard-rocking riffs with captivating lyrics that transported listeners to otherworldly realms. While some of their contemporaries enjoyed more consistent chart success, Blue Oyster Cult carved out a unique niche for themselves. They were a band that thrived on creativity and exploration, unafraid to delve into the realms of science fiction, mythology, and the occult. Their albums were like sonic journeys, filled with intricate arrangements and thought-provoking lyrics. And while they might have flown under the mainstream radar at times, their influence on the hard rock and metal scene is undeniable. Bands like Alice in Chains and Metallica have cited Blue Oyster Cult as a major inspiration, recognizing their pioneering blend of hard rock power with intellectual depth. The Dead Boys, with the notorious Stiv Bators at the helm, were a force to be reckoned with in the burgeoning American punk scene. Their 2 studio albums, Young, Loud, and Snotty, 1977, and We Have Come For Your Children, 1978, captured the raw energy and rebellious spirit of the movement. While they might not have achieved the same level of recognition as punk icons like the Ramones or the Stooges, the Dead Boys were undeniably authentic. They lived and breathed punk rock, embracing its chaotic energy and uncompromising attitude. Their live shows were legendary, fueled by Bader's unpredictable stage presence and the band's blistering musicianship. At the heart of their legacy lies the anthem Sonic Reducer. This punk classic has been covered by a diverse range of artists, including Pearl Jam and Guns N' Roses, solidifying its status as a timeless testament to the power of punk rock. The Dead Boys' music was a raw explosion of aggression and rebellion. Their sound was a stripped-down, high-octane assault of guitars, drums, and Bader's snarling vocals. Their lyrics were confrontational and unapologetic, reflecting the frustrations and alienation of a generation. While their career was relatively short-lived, the Dead Boys left an indelible mark on the punk rock landscape. Their influence can be heard in countless bands that followed, carrying the torch of raw energy and uncompromising attitude. They were a band that lived fast, played hard, and left it all on the stage. What other 70s bands do you think deserve more recognition? Number 4. Hawkwind. Trying to pigeonhole Hawkwind into a single genre is like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Their sound was a swirling vortex of hard rock, acid rock, progressive rock, psychedelic rock, and even proto-punk elements. They were musical pioneers, pushing the boundaries of sound and creating a sonic experience that was truly out of this world. From their self-titled debut in 1970, Hawkwind embarked on a prolific journey through the 1970s, releasing 8 more studio albums that explored the depths of their musical imagination. And remarkably, they're still going strong, with their most recent album released in 2021. While they did enjoy some notable hits in the 70s, like the driving Silver Machine and the controversial Urban Gorilla, Hawkwind's success was largely confined to Europe. However, their influence reached across the Atlantic, inspiring American bands like Ministry and Black Flag, who recognized the groundbreaking nature of their sound. Hawkwind's music was a journey into the unknown. They incorporated elements of science fiction, fantasy, and psychedelia into their lyrics and stage shows, creating a multisensory experience that transported audiences to other dimensions. Their music was often lengthy and improvisational, featuring extended instrumental passages and hypnotic rhythms. The band's lineup was a revolving door of talented musicians, including the legendary Lemmy Kilmister, Ginger Baker, and Nick Turner. Each member brought their own unique flavor to the mix, contributing to the band's ever-evolving sound. Number 5. The Ides of March. While Vehicle might be the only Ides of March song that most casual classic rock fans recognize, dismissing them as a one-hit wonder would be a grave mistake. This innovative band from the suburbs of Chicago was far more than just a catchy, horn-driven hit. Led by the talented Jim Peterick, who would later achieve fame with Survivor, the Ides of March were a powerhouse in the Midwest music scene. Their unique blend of rock energy and powerful horn arrangements set them apart from the pack. If you venture beyond Vehicle, you'll discover a treasure trove of musical gems. Tracks like Superman and L.A. Goodbye showcase the band's versatility and songwriting prowess. They delivered a potent combination of hard-rocking guitars, soulful vocals, and those signature horns that gave them a distinct and memorable sound. From 1970 to 1973, the Ides of March released 4 studio albums, each showcasing their musical evolution and growth. They weren't afraid to experiment with different styles, incorporating elements of blues, jazz, and even progressive rock into their sound. While they might not have achieved national stardom, the Ides of March left an indelible mark on the Midwest music scene. Their energetic live shows and infectious music earned them a loyal following that continues to appreciate their unique blend of rock and horns. Number 6. Little Feat. Little Feat, the brainchild of the brilliant Lowell George and keyboardist Bill Payne, was a band that defied easy categorization. Formed in 1969, their music was a rich tapestry of influences, seamlessly blending rock, country, blues, and even jazz into a unique and captivating sound. While they never achieved mainstream superstardom, Little Feat built a devoted following with their 8 studio albums released between 1971 and 1979. Their music resonated with those who appreciated musicianship, creativity, and a willingness to push musical boundaries. And they had a fan in high places, none other than Led Zeppelin guitar legend Jimmy Page, who has long praised their talent and originality. Little Feat's music was a genre-bending journey through the American musical landscape. Lowell George's soulful vocals and slide guitar work provided the backbone, while Bill Payne's masterful keyboard playing added layers of texture and depth. The rhythm section, anchored by bassist Roy Estrada and drummer Richie Hayward, was a force to be reckoned with, laying down grooves that were both funky and intricate. One of Little Feat's most enduring legacies is their influence on a younger generation of musicians. Perhaps the most notable example is the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, who took their name from Little Feat's 1973 jam classic, Dixie Chicken. This song, with its infectious groove and playful lyrics, became a live staple for both bands and a testament to Little Feat's ability to craft music that transcended genres and generations. Number 7. Montrose. Montrose is often remembered as the band that launched Sammy Hagar's career, and rightfully so. His powerful vocals graced their first two albums, Montrose, 1973, and Paper Money, 1974, leaving an indelible mark on the band's sound. But to focus solely on Hagar would be to overlook the immense talent of the other musicians who made Montrose a force to be reckoned with in the 70s rock scene. Ronnie Montrose, the band's namesake and guitarist extraordinaire, was a true innovator. His blistering solos and driving riffs were the backbone of their sound, showcasing a blend of blues grit and hard rock energy. Alan Fitzgerald, who later achieved fame with Night Ranger, was a highly underrated bassist, providing a solid foundation for Montrose's musical explorations. Songs like Bad Motor Scooter, Rock Candy, and I Got the Fire are pure adrenaline-fueled rock anthems. They capture the raw power and energy that made Montrose a force to be reckoned with on the live stage. These tracks are a testament to the band's ability to craft memorable riffs, infectious melodies, and driving rhythms that still resonate with rock fans today. While it's true that Montrose served as a launching pad for the individual greatness of its members, the band's collective accomplishments during the 1970s should not be underestimated. They were pioneers of a hard-hitting blues-infused rock sound that influenced countless bands that followed. Number 8. Nazareth. Even seasoned classic rock enthusiasts might be surprised to learn that Nazareth, the Scottish hard rock powerhouse, has released over 20 albums throughout their career. From their self-titled debut in 1971 to their most recent release in 2022, Nazareth has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to their music and their fans. While their most recognizable hits are undoubtedly Hair of the Dog and the iconic power ballad Love Hurts, both from their 1975 album, Nazareth's story goes far beyond these chart-topping tracks. Their remarkable longevity and enduring appeal deserve to be celebrated. Through numerous lineup changes, Nazareth has persevered, maintaining their signature hard rock sound while adapting to the ever-evolving musical landscape. Their ability to connect with audiences on a deep level has fostered a loyal fan base that spans generations. Nazareth's music is a powerful blend of bluesy grit, hard rock energy, and melodic hooks. Their songs are infused with a raw emotionality that resonates with listeners on a visceral level. From the driving riffs of Hair of the Dog to the heartfelt balladry of Love Hurts, Nazareth's music has a timeless quality that transcends trends and eras. They've toured relentlessly, sharing their music with audiences around the world, and their live shows are legendary for their intensity and passion. What's your favorite song from any of the bands on this list? Let's build the ultimate underrated 70s playlist. Number 9. Off-Broadway. Off-Broadway's debut album, simply titled On, 1979, stands as a testament to a band that deserved far more recognition than it received. This suburban Chicago group delivered a potent blend of hard rock energy and melodic songwriting that should have propelled them to greater heights. While they remained a local favorite, Off-Broadway did manage to crack the Billboard Hot 100 with their catchy single, Stay in Time. But beyond the mainstream recognition, On is an album filled with hidden gems that showcase the band's true potential. One standout track is the deep-cut Full Moon Turn My Head Around, a song that became a staple of their live performances. Its driving rhythm, soaring vocals, and memorable guitar riffs capture the essence of Off-Broadway's rock and roll spirit. Sadly, Off-Broadway's time in the spotlight was brief. They released only one more album before disbanding, leaving behind a legacy that's often overlooked in the annals of 70s rock history. Number 10. Poco. Emerging from the remnants of Buffalo Springfield, Richie Furay and Jim Messina joined forces to create Poco in the late 1960s. Their vision was a unique blend of folk, soft rock, and country influences, a sound that would later be dubbed country rock. Following their debut album, Pickin' Up the Pieces, in 1969, Poco embarked on a prolific decade, releasing 10 studio albums throughout the 1970s. While they achieved a taste of mainstream success with their 1978 hit Crazy Love, which reached the top 20 on the Billboard Hot 100, Poco's journey was largely one of steady dedication rather than widespread fame. However, Poco's impact on the music scene cannot be overstated. They were pioneers of the country rock genre, paving the way for other Southern California bands to achieve greater commercial success. Their influence is particularly evident in the Eagles, who would eventually welcome former Poco members Randy Meisner and Timothy B. Schmidt into their ranks. While they might not have achieved the same level of recognition as some of their contemporaries, Poco's legacy is one of innovation and influence. They were a band that helped shape the sound of country rock, paving the way for future generations of musicians to explore the intersection of these genres. The number 11, Budgie. Emerging from the vibrant music scene of Wales, Budgie was a powerful trio that played a pivotal role in the new wave of British heavy metal movement. Throughout the 1970s, they unleashed a barrage of hard-hitting rock across 7 studio albums. While they enjoyed a degree of recognition in Europe, their true impact arguably unfolded in the 1980s, as they became a major influence on one of the biggest metal bands of all time, Metallica. Metallica paid homage to Budgie by covering 2 of their standout tracks, Bread Fan from 1973 and Crash Course in Brain Surgery from 1974. Bread Fan, in particular, became a staple of Metallica's live shows, igniting mosh pits and showcasing the raw energy of Budgie's songwriting. Budgie's music was a potent blend of hard rock, blues, and progressive elements. Their sound was characterized by powerful riffs, dynamic drumming, and the soaring vocals of Burke Shelley. They weren't afraid to experiment with tempo changes and intricate song structures, adding a layer of complexity to their heavy metal assault. While they might not have achieved the same level of mainstream success as some of their contemporaries, Budgie's influence on the development of heavy metal is undeniable. They laid the groundwork for future generations of metal bands, paving the way for the thrash metal explosion of the 1980s and beyond. Number 12. REO Speedwagon. REO Speedwagon is often associated with their 80s pop rock anthems like Keep On Loving You and I Can't Fight This Feeling. But before they conquered the pop charts, REO was a formidable hard rock force in the 1970s, fueled by the blistering guitar work of Gary Richrath. During their early years, REO delivered a raw, blues-infused brand of rock and roll that often got overshadowed by other arena rock giants of the era. But for those who delved deeper into their catalog, REO's 70s output revealed a band with a powerful edge and a knack for crafting memorable rock anthems. Tracks like Music Man, Ridin' the Storm Out, Golden Country, and Flying Turkey Trot showcased their hard rock credentials. These songs were built on a foundation of driving rhythms, soaring vocals, and Richrath's signature guitar solos that blended blues grit with a hard rock attack. REO's live performances during this era were legendary. Their energy and stage presence captured the spirit of 70s rock and roll, and their shows were a testament to their musical prowess and their ability to connect with audiences on a visceral level. For a true taste of REO's 70s power, look no further than their brilliant live album, Live You Get What You Play For, released in 1977. This album captures the band at their raw and energetic best, showcasing their hard rock chops and their ability to deliver a captivating live performance. Number 13. Badfinger. The story of Badfinger is a heartbreaker, a classic example of what could have been. In the mid-1960s, these Welsh musicians were generating serious buzz, with some critics even whispering that they might be the next Beatles. That's some serious hype, especially considering they were the very first band signed to the Beatles' own Apple label in 1968. And for a while, it looked like the predictions might come true. Badfinger achieved global success with a string of infectious power pop hits like Come and Get It, No Matter What, Day After Day, and Baby Blue. These songs showcased their talent for crafting catchy melodies, tight harmonies, and a blend of rock energy with pop sensibility. But behind the scenes, things weren't so rosy. Following the collapse of Apple Records, Badfinger found themselves caught in a web of financial and legal nightmares. These issues, coupled with internal tensions, took a devastating toll on the band members. Tragically, vocalist Pete Ham, a driving force behind their songwriting and musical identity, in 1975. The heartbreak continued with the suicide of guitarist and bassist Tom Evans in 1983. Drummer Mike Gibbons passed away in 2005 from a brain aneurysm, leaving guitarist Joey Molland as the sole survivor of the band's classic lineup. Badfinger's story is a stark reminder of the dark side of the music industry. Despite their undeniable talent and early success, they were ultimately unable to navigate the pressures and pitfalls that came with fame. Their music, however, continues to resonate with fans, a testament to their songwriting prowess and the enduring appeal of their power pop sound. Number 14. Royce. While Royce will forever be associated with their iconic hit Car Wash, which topped the Billboard Hot 100 in 1976 and became a cultural phenomenon, their musical legacy extends far beyond that one song. This Los Angeles-based soul and R&B group possessed a depth of talent and a knack for crafting infectious grooves that deserve greater recognition. For those who venture beyond the familiar sounds of Car Wash, Royce offers a rich catalog of soulful gems waiting to be discovered. I Want to Get Next to You, also released in 1976, showcased their ability to create smooth, romantic ballads that resonated with audiences. This song reached the top 10 on the charts, proving that Royce was more than just a one-hit wonder. Their musical reach extended beyond the United States, as evidenced by their success in the United Kingdom. Wishing on a Star, a beautiful ballad showcasing their vocal harmonies and songwriting prowess, became a top 10 hit in the UK, demonstrating their ability to connect with audiences across borders. Royce's music was characterized by its infectious grooves, soulful vocals, and a blend of R&B, funk, and disco elements that captured the spirit of the 70s. Their songs were often featured in movies and television shows, further solidifying their place in popular culture. While Car Wash remains their most recognizable track, Royce's legacy is far richer and more diverse than that one song might suggest. They were a talented group of musicians and songwriters who created a body of work that continues to resonate with fans of soul and R&B. Number 15. The Runaways. The Runaways, a band that launched the careers of rock icons Joan Jett and Lita Ford and unleashed the iconic anthem, Cherry Bomb, should be celebrated as pioneers who shattered barriers for female musicians in the hard rock world. Yet, despite their undeniable influence, they remain somewhat underrated, especially considering their impact on the landscape of rock and roll. Ironically, the Runaways found greater success in Japan than in their native United States. Their rebellious attitude and energetic performances resonated with Japanese audiences, who embraced them as rock and roll heroes. The band's intense 2-year run, during which they released 4 studio albums, ultimately led to burnout and conflicts with management. Their youthful energy and ambition were both a blessing and a curse, fueling their creativity but also contributing to their eventual demise. In the years since their disbandment, the Runaways have rightfully earned their place in rock history. Their story has been told through documentaries and biographical films, highlighting their groundbreaking role in paving the way for female rockers to take center stage. But it's a shame that they didn't receive the full recognition they deserved during their active years. The Runaways were a force to be reckoned with, a band that challenged gender stereotypes and proved that women could rock just as hard as men. Their music was a raw and energetic blend of hard rock, punk, and glam, reflecting their rebellious spirit and their determination to break free from societal expectations. Please comment 1 to let me know you'll be watching this video until the end. Number 16. The Sweet. With a string of top 10 Billboard hits like Little Willie, The Ballroom Blitz, Fox on the Run, and Love is Like Oxygen, the Sweet were undeniably a force to be reckoned with in the 70s glam rock scene. Their influence on countless bands, including Duran Duran, Mötley Crüe, and Guns N' Roses, is undeniable. Yet, when discussing the titans of glam, the Sweet often gets overshadowed by the likes of David Bowie, New York Dolls, and T-Rex. The Sweet's journey through the 70s was a fascinating evolution. They started as a bubblegum pop band, churning out catchy singles that captured the spirit of early glam. But as they matured, their sound evolved into a harder, more guitar-driven style of rock, paving the way for their transition into a full-fledged hard rock outfit. Their musical versatility was a testament to their talent and their willingness to experiment. They could deliver infectious pop hooks with the same ease as they could unleash blistering guitar riffs. Their live shows were legendary, filled with energy, theatricality, and a sense of fun that captivated audiences. Despite their commercial success and their undeniable influence on the glam rock genre, the Sweet often gets relegated to a secondary position in the historical narrative. While Bowie, the Dolls, and T-Rex are rightfully celebrated for their contributions, the Sweet deserves to be recognized as a band that played a pivotal role in shaping the sound and style of glam rock. Number 17. The Sylvers. The Sylvers, a family band hailing from Watts, California, might just be the most underappreciated R&B act of the 1970s, with a lineup that at times included 9 siblings, most of whom shared vocal duties. The Sylvers created a vibrant and infectious blend of soul, funk, and pop that should have earned them a more prominent place in music history. Between 1972 and 1979, the Sylvers released 8 studio albums, showcasing their incredible talent and versatility. Their music was characterized by tight harmonies, funky grooves, and a youthful energy that was infectious. While their most recognizable hit is undoubtedly Boogie Fever, which reached the pinnacle of the Billboard Hot 100 in 1976, the Sylvers had much more to offer than just one disco anthem. They also produced 2 other top 20 singles, Hotline and High School Dance, demonstrating their ability to craft catchy and soulful tunes that resonated with a wide audience. The Sylvers' music was a reflection of their family bond and their shared love for music. Their tight harmonies and synchronized dance moves were a testament to their years of performing together, creating a stage presence that was both captivating and joyful. Despite their talent and their chart success, the Sylvers have often been overlooked in discussions of 70s R&B. Perhaps their large and ever-changing lineup made it difficult for them to establish a consistent identity in the public eye. Or maybe their music, which often straddled the line between pop and R&B, didn't fit neatly into any one genre category. Whatever the reason, the Sylvers deserve to be rediscovered and celebrated for their contributions to the 70s music scene. Their music was a vibrant and joyful expression of soul, funk, and pop, and their infectious energy continues to resonate with those who have discovered their hidden gems. Number 18. UFO. UFO, a band with a revolving door of legendary musicians, including Vinnie Moore, Pete Way, Bernie Marsden, Michael Schenker, Paul Raymond, and Ainsley Dunbar might not have achieved mainstream chart-topping success, but their impact on the hard rock and heavy metal landscape is undeniable. They were a bridge between the early pioneers of the genre and the new wave of British heavy metal that would explode in the late 70s and early 80s. While they may not be household names, UFO's legacy is built on a foundation of powerful riffs, soaring vocals, and a raw energy that captivated audiences around the world. Their songs like Lights Out and Doctor Doctor have become staples of classic rock radio and continue to inspire new generations of musicians. UFO's music was a potent blend of hard rock grit and heavy metal power. Schenker's blistering guitar work was a driving force behind their sound, while Phil Mogg's distinctive vocals added a unique edge to their music. They were a band that thrived on stage, and their live performances were legendary for their intensity and musicianship. One of the highlights of UFO's career is their critically acclaimed live album, Strangers in the Night, released in 1979. This album captures the band at their peak, showcasing their raw energy, their musical prowess, and their ability to connect with audiences on a visceral level. It's considered one of the greatest live albums of all time, and a testament to UFO's impact on the hard rock heavy metal genre. UFO's influence can be heard in countless bands that followed in their footsteps. Their blend of hard rock and heavy metal elements paved the way for the new wave of British heavy metal, inspiring bands like Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, and Saxon. While they may not have achieved the same level of commercial success as some of their contemporaries, UFO's legacy is one of innovation and influence. They were a band that pushed the boundaries of hard rock and heavy metal, helping to shape the sound of a generation. Their music continues to resonate with fans around the world, and their place in rock history is secure as one of the most important and influential bands of their era. Number 19. Wishbone Ash. Wishbone Ash, a band that spanned 5 decades and released over 20 albums, might not be a household name, but their impact on the hard rock landscape is far greater than many realize. From their formation in 1970 to their final album in 2000. In 2020, Wishbone Ash consistently pushed the boundaries of rock guitar, leaving a lasting impression on some of the biggest names in the genre. At the heart of Wishbone Ash's sound was the innovative twin guitar attack of Andy Powell and Ted Turner. Their interplay was intricate and mesmerizing, blending elements of blues, progressive rock, folk, and even jazz into a unique and captivating style. This pioneering approach to guitar playing would become a hallmark of their sound and a major influence on future generations of guitarists. While Wishbone Ash never achieved mainstream superstardom, their influence on the development of hard rock is undeniable. Bands like Iron Maiden, Van Halen, and Lynyrd Skynyrd have all cited Wishbone Ash as a major inspiration, recognizing the groundbreaking nature of their twin guitar approach and the depth of their musicality. Number 20. The Guess Who. The Guess Who, a band that holds legendary status in their native Canada, are best known internationally for their 1970 hit, American Woman, a song that captured the zeitgeist of the era and became an anthem for a generation. While their career began in the late 1960s, the Guess Who's most prolific and impactful period came during the 1970s, when they released 10 studio albums that showcased their musical versatility and songwriting prowess. The Guess Who's music was a blend of hard rock energy, pop sensibilities, and a touch of psychedelia. Led by the powerful vocals of Burton Cummings and the guitar wizardry of Randy Bachman, the band crafted a string of memorable hits that resonated with audiences on both sides of the border. Beyond American Woman, the Guess Who delivered a string of hits that showcased their ability to craft catchy melodies and memorable hooks. Songs like No Time, These Eyes, Undone, and Share the Land became staples of classic rock radio and continue to be enjoyed by fans today. The Guess Who's influence on the Canadian music scene is undeniable. They were one of the first Canadian bands to achieve international success, paving the way for future generations of Canadian artists to make their mark on the global stage. Their music has become part of the Canadian cultural fabric, and their legacy as one of the country's most important and influential bands is secure. Despite their undeniable impact on the world of rock and roll, the Guess Who is still awaiting induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This oversight is a source of frustration for many fans who believe that the band's contributions to music deserve to be recognized alongside the other giants of the genre. Did we miss any of your favorites? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, be sure to check out our other videos celebrating the music of the past. Don't forget to subscribe and share the love of classic rock with your friends. Thanks for watching, and keep the music playing.